And so by the time you look at what we call NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission, it involves 9 states as a geographical location. So the first thing you will do is that you have to change the word Niger Delta if you want to include Kaduna. So you have to change the word Niger Delta. So it's no longer for Niger Delta. If you want to involve Zamfara in North, include solid minerals. Include solid minerals. Because as we speak now, with all prospecting, we are even thinking we are likely to discover oil at in Kano. No, it's true. No, Lake Chad region, Lake Chad Basin. We are going to discover. So you cannot come and put Lake Chad Basin as part of Niger Delta. Lake Chad River Basin Authority. So if you say if you discover oil in Lake Chad, then you now bring Kano and Borno and put inside Niger Delta. It simply means that we are bereft of ideas of how to accommodate. Already they are getting 13%, and by PIA they are members of the host communities, which they are also getting allocation from. So, but this one of Niger Delta, NDDC, I know that there are many considerations for NDDC. For me, as we are considering measures for certain commissions, we can also even consider the possibility of segregating some of these things, and then making sure that areas that need to come together come together. But Kogi has oil now, Anambra has oil, then Lagos has oil, Gombe now has oil. Are we going to bring Lagos, Gombe, and Kogi under and Kano and Ogun? Even Ebonyi has oil. Ebonyi has palm oil. Are we going to bring and Bauchi? Yes, Bauchi. Thank you, Senator Shehu Boba. Bauchi has oil. So are we going to bring all of them under Niger Delta? It's a geographical location. So I don't. How are you going to rule on this?
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Asukwa Ipeyon, Senator representing Cross River South. I want to stand. I rise to back.
Tony, please approach the chair.
I rise to back the last speaker, Senator Dixon, on his perception of this bill. And I want us to not be even subjective. We should be as objective as possible. And with that, I'd like to draw our attention to the actual bill, the act actually, that established the NDDC. Mr. President, if you permit me, I'll read the long title of that act. An act to provide for the repeal of the Oil Mineral Producing Areas Commission's Decree 1998, and among other things, establish a new commission with a reorganized management and administrative structure for more effectiveness, and for the use of the sums received from the allocation of the Federation account for tackling ecological problems which arise from the exploration of oil minerals in the Niger Delta area and for connected purposes. I repeat, in the Niger Delta area. I think this long title speaks for itself.
Please read that section of the bill. Use your microphone. Please listen to you.
Mr. President, I repeat, an act to provide for the repeal of the Oil Mineral Producing Areas Commission's Decree 1998, and among other things, establish a new commission with a reorganized management and administrative structure for more effectiveness and for the use of the sums received from the allocation of the Federation account for tackling ecological problems which arise from the exploration of oil minerals in the Niger Delta area and for connected purposes.
Okay, so what you are saying is that we should wait until Anambra has environmental issues. Then we now create Anambra Environmental Areas Commission. Ogun State, when are you producing your oil so that you can experience what Niger Delta experience? You have. Please say something. Say something on it.
Thank you, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleague. I have listened to the argument by my colleague concerning this bond issue that is currently before us. But Mr. President, sir, I want to support the position of my brother, the former governor of Bayelsa State, that this bill be stepped down for further legislative action. I quite agree. But, sir, why saying that? I want to say, from what was just read out by Senator Ekpeyon, that states that, and it's just to give a further assurance that the Niger Delta Development Commission is meant for only the Niger Deltas. But what it's saying, we can also create a commission for the southeast, for the west, for the northeast and southwest, that are north central, that are all producing states. We just have the same commission. But, sir, I want to say this, so that we don't make nonsense of this commission. The UNPADEC that was initially repealed to give back to this NDDC, we have to bring it back. We have to bring it back so that all the oil producing states can be recognized, and all of this can be in one document. So that any area, because the reason why NDDC was set up ab initio was to take care of environmental challenges that emanate as a result of exploration of the oil. And definitely all the oil producing states that have been identified also will still go through the same thing. So to accommodate everybody, I think it's high time that maybe we set up a committee within the Senate to look at it, so that with the view of bringing back the UNPADEC to take care of all the oil producing states that we have in Nigeria. As we are, I'm from Ogun State, we have oil in the Tongeji Island, yet to be explored. So we are a reservoir for the nation. By the time there is no more oil in Bayelsa, in Akwa Ibom, in every other state, Ogun State oil will just start exploration so that we can sustain that's the situation. So I want to suggest that we step down this bill for further legislative action. I so submit, Mr. President.
You can go and listen to it. From what? They are not yet producing now. Have you started producing?
Distinguished colleagues, Senator Ned Muko.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Ned Moko, representing Delta North. Mr. President, I just have a few remarks by way of contribution. First of all, from your body language and from what you've said, it would have been the ideal thing would have been for this matter to be stepped down
Okay, point of order. Just sorry, Senator Woko, sit down.
Mr. President, my name is Mohammed Sani Musa, Niger East Senatorial District. My distinguished colleagues, I'm coming under Order 1A. Can I read it, sir? I will read 1A and then B. The proceedings in the Senate and in all committees of the Senate shall be conducted in accordance with the following standing orders. In all cases, B, in all cases not provided for in this standing order or by sessional or other orders of practice of the Senate shall by resolution regulate its procedure. We have been arguing about either to stand down a bill or to continue. And looking at the time, sir, is 2:39. We have so many other meetings. I want to appeal to Mr. President and my distinguished colleagues that we stand down every order of the day and adjourn for another legislative day. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished colleagues, a lot of arguments have been profiled for and against this bill. Slight historical background had also been given to the formation of certain commissions, such as the UNPADEC, such as the defunct UNPADEC, such as the Niger Delta Development Commission, such as the Northeast Development Commission, etc. The chambers recognizes the need for most of the zones to have additional development outside what their governors are doing. And at the moment, I know that we are at the verge of passing the Southwest Development Commission, and that Southeast Development Commission has already been passed. Southeast Development Commission have been passed. And we have also tried to explain that the word Niger Delta is limiting. That is why, even though Lagos is getting its derivation, It is not part of Niger Delta Development Commission, even though Anambra is getting his derivation, 13%. It is not part of Niger Delta. And I think Kogi is about to produce or producing. And so he's getting his 13% derivation. And he's also a member of the host community, according to the PIA. Thank you. Not member of Niger Delta. Okay. So in other words, Senator Issa Jibrin is saying that unless we expand the word Niger Delta to include any state in Nigeria found with oil, whether it is Sokoto, whether it is Kano, we should call that state Niger Delta. We have a responsibility as lawmakers. We have a responsibility to guide and to be able to, so that we don't make a mockery of ourselves. I would like to ask distinguished Senator Woye whether, one, would he like to withdraw the bill for further consultations, or will he want us to put the question? Or will he want to step it down for further consultations in view of what other states are saying? So, distinguished Senator Tony Woye, please, will you want to step it down for further consultations, or do you want us to put the question?
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you once more, our esteemed colleagues, for this honor. But I want to give a very important information before I answer, sir. Kogi State is not receiving 30% derivation as of today.
The man from Kogi said they are receiving.
Wait.
Senator Issa Jibrin, use your mic. So if you are producing, you have to receive.
Mr. President, I have the record. It's on that Anambra State is receiving 13% derivation since 2021 November. And as of today, Kogi State is not receiving a dime from federal government. So far,
can I see the record that mentioned that Kogi is not receiving anything? What you showed me was that Anambra has been getting 13% from 2021. I also inform you that as Minister of Niger Delta, that I'm aware that Lagos has also been getting its 13% from 2 oil wells in Badagry, and so, but is not member of Niger Delta area. So
let it be on record, so that if my senior colleague and my distinguished brother,
it's not the question. The question is not about Kogi. The question is not about Lagos. The question is not about Gombe. Can Kogi produce oil and not receive is the 13%?
By the revenue mobilization and negotiation of fiscal commission. That has not been done. When did you get it?
Give you a copy until wait, allow me, sir. With due respect, sir. I want to correct an impression, sir, on the issue of boundary.
That letter you have is addressed to you, yes, based on Anambra, not on Kogi. Okay, sir, let the senator from Kogi also write, like you wrote. You are not hearing what I'm saying, Tony. You wrote to the commission to find out whether they are paying 13% to Anambra, and they responded yes, that since 2021, they are paying 13% to Anambra on the oil produced in Anambra. That's what you said. So why are you concerned about Kogi? Because Kogi is not in issue.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, with due respect, Mr. Woye, I want you to limit yourself to your presentation and to your state. What happens in Kogi State is entirely, it's not a business. I am telling you that information getting to me
shows that Kogi has been receiving. If that information, if that information is wrong, if that information is wrong, I will get back to Kogi and get the correct information. But that is not what we are saying now. What we are saying now, that is not what we are saying. Nobody is misinforming anybody. Nobody is misinforming anybody. Okay, limit yourself to your bill and defend it. Okay, yet what I am saying is this: you don't.
Okay. Well, the distinguished colleagues, I don't think we should go into very controversial issues. Lawmaking has a lot of processes. After this, it will still go to the House of Representatives, it will still go to the presidency and all that. And I would like us to also do justice to other states that are receiving their 13% derivation. I'm aware that Lagos has since been producing oil, both offshore and onshore, but the onshore oil gets 13%, but the offshore is beyond 200 meters isobath required by law, and so they couldn't get 13% on that. So, however, yes, Wasu, I can hear you. The Niger Delta is a geographical expression encompassing the creeks and areas and states that are part of the Niger Delta region. I don't think it will be correct for us, because Kogi is producing oil, or Zamfara produces oil tomorrow. Bauchi, we have already found oil. Then we put all of them under Niger Delta. I think we need a more holistic approach to the law. Even it might mean changing the long title of the act, and then trying to also mention those states, because as at now, the law that we have mentions the states that make up Niger Delta inside the act in section 4. So if we want to add another state, we must give reason why that state is Niger Delta. It is not just because it produces oil. But the question I want to put to distinguished Senator Tony Way now is, do you want us to step this down for further consultations, or do you want us to put the question?
Mr. President, I feel that I will leave at the discretion of the Senate, because of the fact that it's not only based on the fact that oil is found in Gombe and other areas. This 90% of these oil wells are located between Doni and the Obaru local government. That place, check the map of Niger Delta. The Obaru people of Anambra State, they speak the same dialect with the Ndoni people. So by extension, despite the fact that they're in Anambra State, they share almost everything with Niger Delta people. And that is where these oil wells are located. That is where these oil exploration activities have been done.
So in other words, distinguished, there will be need for us to approach the National Boundary Commission for them to explain to us if Anambra State is part of Niger Delta. It's not for us as a Senate to go into geography. It will be good for the National Boundary Commission to explain it to us. But because I don't want us to be dragged into an issue simple, if you were not getting your 13% derivation, that would have been a different thing. But since you are getting that, and also, you are also a member of the PIA, that is the host communities, as set up by the Act of Parliament today, and therefore you are also gaining. Those communities are also gaining from the host communities funds. I don't think we should be in a hurry to redefine Niger Delta to include Anambra, Gombe, and other, but be that as it may, let us put the question. Distinguished colleagues, those who are in support of the argument that this bill be now read a second time, to go for second reading, say aye. Those against say nay. The nays have it. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, very distinguished senators, considering the mood of the nation and considering the mood of the Senate, and especially the commitment of distinguished senators to life and property, may I most respectfully announce that the seventh and last order of the day is a motion standing in the name of distinguished Senator Ned Muniru Nwoko on the Galadimawa kidnap incident response and the need to urgently enhance security measures in FCT, Nigeria. Mr. President, you may wish to invite distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko to move the motion.
Distinguished Senator Ned Nwoko.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues. My name is Senator Ned Nwoko, representing the good people of Delta North, Delta State. Mr. President, this is the motion on the Galadimawa kidnap incident, which we've been discussing at various times. Mr. President, the Senate notes that on the 23rd of November 2023, the Senate, via a motion, resolved that security agencies to fortify security and address the surge of kidnappings in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. Notes also that the resolution was prompted by the tragic abduction of 19 individuals, including my senior legislative aide, Barrister Chris Agidi, in Galadimawa, Abuja. Aware that upon receiving the distressing news, I took immediate action and promptly contacted the FCT Commissioner of Police, who swiftly activated the OC anti-kidnapping team to secure the release of those abducted. Informed that the FCT Police Command operatives conducted a successful operation on the 24th of February 2024. Acting on reliable intelligence, they raided Sadwana Forest in Toto, Nasarawa State, and apprehended one Samaila Wakili Fafa, also known as Habu Ibrahim, a notorious kidnap kingpin who has long eluded capture and has been on the command's wanted list. Informed also that the suspects have admitted that the criminal syndicate orchestrated and carried out numerous kidnappings in the FCT and its surrounding areas, including the abduction of Chris Agidi and Mr. Sunday Yaya Zakwai, the district head of Keti village. Disturbed that the gravity of this situation has only been compounded by the revelation of Barrister Agidi and others' untimely demise at the hands of these abductors, and their remains recovered and deposited at Gwagwalada Teaching Hospital mortuary for medical assessment. Cognizant of the police force efforts, who displayed unwavering dedication and determination in pursuing the kidnappers, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, the FCT Commissioner of Police, Ben Igwe, who personally led the team into the forest in search of the bodies, CSP Mustafa, the officer in charge of anti-kidnapping, and CSP Victor, the Divisional Police Officer of Utako, along with other courageous police officers. Accordingly resolves to 1. Observe 1 minute silence in honor of those killed due to the cruelty of the bandits through kidnappers. 2. Urge the Inspector General of Police to see to the installation of CCTV cameras in strategic locations within and around Abuja highways and other capital cities to bolster surveillance and deter criminal activities. 3, also call on the Inspector General of Police to urgently increase security patrols and surveillance within Abuja and across the nation to proactively combat and prevent further kidnappings. 4, mandate the committees on defense and police to recommend robust strategies to prevent future kidnappings within FCT. 5, call for the recruitment of more police personnel to bolster security forces' capacity to combat kidnappings and other criminal activities effectively. 6, urge for the provision of equal mobility resources for the police to enhance their ability to respond swiftly to security threats and conduct patrols effectively. 7, call on the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to urgently ensure the functionality of dedicated emergency numbers for police, ambulance, and fire service emergencies to enhance swift response to security and public safety incidents. And lastly, urge the police to dedicate a 3-digit number, emergency number, for effective emergency responses. I so move, Mr. President.
Senator Wazir.
Thank you very much, the Senate President, because security of lives and property is very, very essential to good governance. I think that all well-meaning, I'm sure all senators should support this. I found out that the prayers being sought by Senator Ned Nwoko will help in fortifying the Federal Capital Territory. They are necessary. That is even why I'm here till at this time, to make sure that I support his prayers for us to be safe and for everything, because it's different. I was going to even say that if I had the service chiefs there, but the prayers that he's seeking is very, very fundamental, germane, and can only lead to security of life and properties in this FCT and beyond. Thank you very much.
So you second?
Support and second the motion, sir.
Yes, Senator Olarere.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I also want to lend my force to this bill. In the first instance, to commiserate with the mover, Senator Ned Nwoko, on the demise of his SLA, who was one of the people killed by the dastardly act of these kidnappers. Without wasting our time, sir, security of life and property is very germane, and this is the federal capital for Nigeria. And whatever is happening here is a reflection of what is happening in your country. I just want to add that apart from supporting this motion, we must ensure that whatever is passed here today is effected. The Legislative Compliance Committee of this Senate should follow whatever we decide today up, so that the CCTV and other security measures that will be put in place will be seen to be functional, so that life and properties in the FCT and other part of the country will be safe. I so submit. Thank you, sir.
The Senator Zam.
The Senate President, distinguished colleagues, I'm Senator Titus Zam. Mr. President, I also rise to lend my voice in supporting this motion in its entirety, and to also express my deep condolences to our colleague, Senator Ned, whose SLA was gruesomely murdered by men of the underworld within the FCT. I also like to commend his fine use of words towards the police establishment, and to add that once the police do something that is commendable like this, it is correct that they should be commended, and the choice of words expressed by Senator Ned Nwoku speaks to the fact that he really appreciates the hard work of the police by identifying the culprits. Maybe when we come to the prayers, I will also have something to add. At this juncture, I only support the motion and to pray that may the soul of his deceased SLA rest in peace. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Senate President.
The deceased Senator Ned Nwoku, you said 19 people were abducted. What happened to all of them? Have they all been released?
I am not aware of the exact figures. All I know is that about 5 bodies or so were recovered when they went to the forest a few days ago. The CP personally led the culprits who went to show them where they left the bodies. But I don't know about what happened with the others, but I'm sure that this Senate should be able to, through the recommendations, be able to find out what happened and take appropriate steps. Well, I did that before, that's okay.
So the whereabouts of the other abductees are not known. Their whereabouts are still not known.
The President, as far as I know, some of them were released. You know, when I first mentioned this particular kidnapping here, I said so much about the numbers, about 19 being kidnapped and 12 being alleged to have been killed. And also when we had our interaction with the service chiefs here, I spoke about it. I also gave some figures. But when in the last few days, speaking with the Commissioner of Police and others, they've been unable to give me the precise number of those released and those killed, except that about 5 of bodies were recovered so far.
Tragic as the incident may be, I think we should go a step further to invite maybe the FCT Commissioner of Police to brief us in closed session about this particular investigation, because it will be good for us to know the details and see how we can also add more solutions. So do we invite the Minister of FCT and the FCT Commissioner of Police to come on this particular incident where a legislative assistant of a senator has been murdered? Because I would like to know more details about the clerk. If the Senate adopts the suggestion to invite the FCT minister to the Committee on National Security, Police Affairs, or to meet the Senate in closed session, that they should come and meet the Senate in closed session on this matter. Then from there, we can get more details on what has happened. So let's look at this very tragic incident. Let's look at the prayers. Galadima kidnap incident response and need to urgently enhance security measures in the FCT. The prayers. Observe 1 minute silence in honor of those killed due to the cruelty of the bandits that kidnapped many people, including the legitimate aides of our distinguished brother Ned Nwoku at Galadima district of Abuja. Those in support of prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 2. Urge the Inspector General of Police to see to the installation of CCTV cameras in strategic locations within and around Abuja, the highways, and other major capital cities to bolster surveillance and detect criminal activities. Those in support of prayer 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 3. Call on the Inspector General of Police to urgently increase security patrols and surveillance within Abuja and across the nation to proactively combat and prevent further kidnappings. Those in support of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes are. Prayer 4, mandate the committees on defense and police affairs to recommend robust strategies to prevent future kidnappings within the FCT. Those in support of prayer 4 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 5, call for the recruitment of more police personnel to bolster security forces' capacity to combat kidnappings and other criminal activities effectively. Those in support of prayer 5 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 6, urge the provision of adequate mobility resources for the police to enhance their ability to respond swiftly to security threats and conduct patrols effectively. Those in support of prayer 6 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 7, call on the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, to urgently ensure the functionality of dedicated emergency numbers for the police, for the ambulance services and fire services and other emergencies to enhance swift response to security and public safety incidents. Those in support of prayer 7 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 8, urge the police to dedicate a 3-digit emergency number for effective emergency response. I think that's the same thing as the other prayer, but those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say the nays have it. Now, is anybody that would like to have additional prayer? Yes, Senator Sam.
Invitation. Yeah. Mr. Senate President, distinguished colleagues, in line with your earlier suggestion that we invite the FCT Minister with the Commissioner of Police, I think this is where to do that. But beyond that, sir, as I earlier said, we are too quick to tongue lash.
The distinguished Senator Titus Zam, we are now on additional prayers. What is your additional prayer? Use your microphone.
The FCT Minister, together with the Commissioner of Police FCT, to brief the Senate on the roadmap towards sorting out the safety of the citizens of, the inhabitants of the FCT, for the safety of all of us, including the Senate President. Thank you very much, sir.
Any seconder? Yes, this Senator, most of us salute.
Your Excellency, the Senate President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the prayers that the FCT Minister and the Commissioner of Police should be invited to brief the Senate in a closed session on some of the modalities that have been taken. I so second.
Distinguished colleagues, the amendment, additional prayer has been made that we, in view of this tragic incident, that we invite the Minister of FCT and the Commissioner of Police in charge of FCT to meet the Senate in closed session to discuss on the issue of the security of the FCT. And the prayer has been seconded. Those in support of this additional prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So clerk of the Senate, you will invite the FCT Minister and the Commissioner of Police FCT to meet with the Senate in closed session to discuss the security of the FCT. Distinguished colleagues, may we now rise for a minute silence in honor of those brutally killed. May the souls of the Galadima kidnapped victims rest in perfect peace. Amen. Having exhausted all the items on the order paper, this Senate is hereby adjourned to the Thursday, the 29th day of February 2024 at 11 a.m. prompt. And the reason why it is 29th day of February is because this year is a leap year. Otherwise, February normally stops at 28. So see you tomorrow.